I've noticed donations for Panquake has gotten a boost since last Monday. Wonder if that's a result of the YouTube demonetizations. Well, I think it is because, I mean, personally, I've been pushing when I do other shows, I talk about Rokfin and I talk about Panquake. And like when I had Susie Dawson on last Tuesday, the day after I got demonetized, having her on to talk about Panquake, and that video's out there getting views. And I think it's really, and seeing this bloodletting that happened last week of all these shows getting demonetized, I think everyone was like, oh God. That's why Rokfin numbers have gone up. That's why Panquake numbers have gone up. I think I don't think it's a coincidence at all. Not that you're saying that, but I'm just saying, I think it's directly tied to what happened to me and everybody else last week. That was big news last week, man. Jordan Sheridan said somebody from Fox News wants to reach out to talk to me. So I'll talk to anybody. Like I said, I was on Peter Lavelle's Crosstalk this morning. It'll air Wednesday with Kim Iverson and this Wayne. I forget his last name, but he's another YouTuber that got demonetized. And Kim, like a lot of people, is just sitting there waiting for the other. She's like her, Ron, Jimmy. They're all like, it's a matter of time. They're just worried for that. And Kim was talking about her money has come way down from YouTube. Her subscriber count, she's watched it be reduced by like 5,000 to 10,000. She's like, I understand that my growth would slow down, but it wouldn't stop or go in reverse. She goes, that's their algorithm. That's their algorithm. Whitney Webb's great. Yeah. Trump broke a lot of brains, Graham, especially on the left. We got 32 watching. That's the most ever watching this premium live stream. And it's because of what happened last week. This is the first late night crypto lounge that I've done since I got demonetized. So I really thank everybody. Usually we have 10, maybe 8, maybe 12 people, maybe 15 at the most, but 32, this is the highest number of people watching. And I really, really appreciate it. You're supporting a really cool platform. You're not just supporting me, which I appreciate, especially since I've been demonetized, but you're supporting Rokfin. This is the kind of thing, if we can blow Rokfin up and get it really big, this is like, what I'd like to do is turn YouTube into MySpace. Like take their arrogant asses and like, oh, nobody goes to YouTube anymore. It's dead. It's done. They used to be number one, just like MySpace. Now they're nothing. They're just like an abandoned amusement park. Who cares? And everyone's on Rokfin and the Ray token's worth $1,000 and, we're all making great money. And I got this sweet fancy studio that I paid for with crypto. That's what I want to do. My goal for this channel has always not to just sit here and talk the news, but I've always wanted to have them. And this takes money to do like really cool stuff, like scripted content. Because you watch Netflix and it's all this neoliberal bullshit. Every once in a while, there's something that's really cool written or whatever. But even like Stranger Things, oh, the bad guys are the Russians in season 4 or 3 or whatever. It's like, man, all these Obama documentaries and Russia's bad. And I would want to do content, scripted content that's like lefty socialist, even if it's a comedy. Rather than like, blue check neoliberals in Hollywood just referring to the middle of the country as the flyover states. Like, no, we're going to show workers uniting. You know what I mean? We're going to do that kind of stuff in a funny, interesting, some comedic or dramatic. That's what I would want to do. Episodic content. What if we turn Rokfin into like a combination of like YouTube and Netflix? In terms of diversity of content, not working with the CIA, but like, imagine if Rokfin was like, we were making, I tell you, I put Graham Goes to Russia. My documentary is up here on Rokfin and the premium. I didn't make it for free on YouTube. You can only get it on Patreon or here. Ron and I, before the shutdown, and I'm going to do this when we open back up and go back on the road. There's a lot that needs to happen, obviously, first, but here's what Ron and I's plan was for last year. We started the year in January and we had tour dates all the way through October of 2020. We had some shows booked in April in Portland and Seattle, these cool clubs. The Seattle club, I think, went out of business, which just breaks my heart. And Ron and I in January, and the Ray token had jumped from 17 cents to like 80, 90 cents or something like that in January. And I'm like, Ron, we cashed some of this out. And I had lined up cameras, camera crew, and an editor. I had it all lined up for, I think, the Seattle show. They were going to film a 3-camera shoot. So when Ron and I go out and perform and do the Progressive Comedy Tour, it's like Ron does 45 minutes and I do 45 minutes or so. And we would shoot those and then each edit. And so Ron would release his own comedy special and I'd release my own comedy special. We released the audio as comedy albums that you could download and listen to. And the video we were going to release as comedy specials and call them the first ever crypto comedy specials on Rokfin exclusively. That's what our plan. I mean, that's what I was like, boom, let's be the first guys to release comedy specials on Rokfin. And hey, you want to watch the comedy special? You got to join the premium. And that's what I'm going to start doing more of. More projects like releasing Graham Goes to Russia on Rokfin. I'm going to do more projects like that. When we go back on the road, I'm going to shoot a comedy special and I'm going to put it on Rokfin. Now, the thing about scripted content, you need more production money for that. You need to pay writers and camera crew and actors. And I want to do that though. That takes more money, but if this thing blows up, if the Ray token goes up to 1,000, I mean, you know, all of us content creators are going to be all doing quite well. And I'm going to have the money to like I want to have my own studio, Graham, you know, whatever, Vigilante Studios, and a sound stage and hire people and shoot stuff and hire my talented, funny friends and write dramatic stuff. I've got some movie scripts I want to do. I mean, I started in show business, man. I went to film school. I'm a comedian and a director and a producer and a writer. That's what I am. I didn't become this political pundit. I came just out of like frustration and necessity is why I started doing this. And I love doing this show, but I always want to do more. I've directed TV shows and movies. That's what I want to do. And that's what I'm going to do. And that's why I'm so big on crypto. Cause I'm like, I don't need like, oh, I got to pitch. Cause here's how it works. Traditional show business. You get a script, a movie idea, or a TV show, an episodic idea. And you got to go pitch it to companies like Netflix and Amazon and Comedy Central and Warner Brothers and to get funding. And they're going to want A-list celebrities attached and, you know, all this hoops you got to jump. And if they do say yes, they're probably going to change your script and say, oh, we don't want that in there or this or that because that won't sell or whatever stupid reasons they have. They're just suits. They're just bean counters. They're not creative people. And so you're just at the mercy of this, dealing with this like corporate labyrinth to get your project made. And you hope that it kind of resembles the cool idea you had when you first wrote it, when it actually is finished. You hope. And sometimes you get to do the thing and it makes it the First Nations comedy experience that I directed and produced and created with my buddy who ran the network, Micah. The show that the final product of that show was what we envisioned. And it was really cool. But if I got all this crypto and Rokfin is blowing up, I can do whatever I want I don't need I don't need some executive or some agent or to tell me yes or no, or there's all these gatekeepers in traditional Hollywood and this blows it up. This is what I've always wanted to do. So I'm going to do more of that. That's the long-term goal of what this channel is. I'll keep doing news segments like this, but I want to make cool shit. That's why I like doing the characters and Granny Petrol and, you know, Jimmy wants to bring back the political vigilante game show. Cause I did that a couple of times a year ago live and on live streaming before the shutdown. And we're going to do that again as a Zoom show with Jimmy. I got to just format it and put it together, but we're going to do that because it's cool and fun and interesting. And it's political game show questions. It's entertaining, a little informative, but mainly it's fun. Like we goof around a lot, like old school game shows like Match Game or whatever. And we can do whatever the fuck we want. So that's what I'm going to do. So when you guys are supporting, you're supporting the future of not just news media, but entertainment. You know, I made Graham Goes to Russia because there's nothing out there showing what Russia is really like And look, I know there's riots right now. People are pissed off. Like Putin put Navalny in jail. That's pretty authoritarian. But still, people are protesting in the streets. They're getting their heads knocked in and they're going to jail. I don't know. Sound familiar? Has that happened anywhere in America recently? I mean, so Putin is a dictator and the American government is a dictator. I mean, so I'm so proud of that little movie that I made, and please watch it. It's in 2 parts here on Rokfin. And that's the other thing. Like, I couldn't upload a full hour movie because they don't have the space. That's fine. But that's another reason why you guys doing this $10 a month thing and kicking in some money for the tips or whatever, you're supporting the long-term growth of this. Because look, to run a platform like this, they need infrastructure. I don't know all the tech side of it, but they need a lot of servers, or I don't know the fuck. They need all that shit. They need programmers. They need people in I mean, all of this that's happening right now takes a lot of people and money and resources and time, right? So you're supporting something and you're helping it grow. It's already better than it was a year ago. They didn't have the app a year ago. They didn't have the tip feature a year ago. You couldn't really live stream yet a year ago. Now you can. So they're going to get the Android app. They're just going to keep making this better. So thanks for watching, everybody. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button. Go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood and rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, where you can support the show. Also, I have a Bitcoin wallet, a Bitcoin Cash wallet, and an Ethereum wallet in the show notes. We're taking cryptocurrency. I have a Coinbase affiliation link. We're going to be getting on some other exchanges. So that's how you support the show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. YouTube is unsubscribing us at an alarming rate. I have a PayPal button at GrahamElwood.com. I even have a Venmo at Graham-Elwood. There's a lot of ways to support our show. We are getting crushed by YouTube. We've dipped under 73,000 subscribers because of YouTube. Thanks for supporting what we do.